At the University of Nebraska Omaha, the establishment of the Diversity, Equity, Access, and Inclusion Office has sparked a wave of controversy that pierces through the veil of progressive rhetoric. This office serves less as a beacon of inclusivity and more as a tool for racial engineering designed to systematically exclude white individuals from the educational and professional landscape. This initiative, which claims to streamline diversity efforts, has instead become a focal point for those who see it as a mechanism for racial displacement under the pretense of equity. Consider the bizarre scenario where an office labeled All Inclusion exists at the University of Nebraska Omaha, dedicated explicitly to the exclusion of all races except white, including Black individuals. The public outrage would be immediate and intense, branding it as an act of blatant racism. Yet, the DEAI office is accused of doing just that in reverse, promoting policies that are designed to favor non-white races over whites, all while cloaked in the language of diversity. This stark contrast highlights the double standards at play, where racial inclusion is only championed when it aligns with a specific political narrative, revealing the deep-seated hypocrisy within current DEI frameworks. The implementation of DEI programs at institutions like the University of Nebraska at Omaha is not altruistic, but is in fact mired in political and financial incentives. Politicians leverage these initiatives to secure votes by promising to address racial disparities, often without addressing the root causes. Meanwhile, those who manage these offices enjoy job security and funding, incentives tied directly to meeting diversity quotas, which might not reflect genuine progress but rather adherence to a political agenda. This system rewards the appearance of inclusivity over actual substantive change, further entrenching racial divisions rather than eradicating them. Behind the scenes, large investment firms push for DEI policies not out of a commitment to social justice, but as part of a broader strategy to influence societal structures, including what some critics label as white replacement, the gradual shift in demographic composition to align with globalist objectives. These companies see diversity initiatives as a means to reshape societal norms, potentially destabilizing traditional power structures in favor of a new global order. This agenda, critics argue, is less about equity and more about control, using diversity as a tool to alter the cultural and economic landscape of Western societies. The irony of having a white individual lead an office that is designed to exclude his own race cannot be overstated. If the roles were reversed, with a Black individual leading an office that excluded Black people in favor of whites, the absurdity would be clear and the backlash immense. Yet, this is the reality at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, where such practices are not only tolerated but celebrated as progressive, showcasing a profound disconnect from the principles of fairness and equality. This scenario does not just border on the absurd. It plunges into it, questioning the sanity or strategic intent behind these initiatives. The mindset behind the University of Nebraska at Omaha's DEI office, where racial quotas trump merit, is seen by some as not merely misguided, but as a form of strategic insanity, where the pursuit of diversity becomes a facade for exclusion. Critics see this not as a misstep, but as a deliberate strategy to implement racial engineering under the guise of inclusivity, disregarding the educational and professional quality for the sake of meeting politically motivated diversity targets. This approach, they argue, does more to divide than to unite, fostering resentment and undermining the very principles of meritocracy and true diversity. The DEI office at the University of Nebraska at Omaha stands as a troubling example of how diversity initiatives can be manipulated to serve narrow political, financial, and ideological ends. It raises critical questions about the integrity of educational institutions when racial quotas become the priority over genuine inclusivity and merit-based education. In the end, this office might just be a microcosm of broader societal issues where the quest for diversity risks becoming a tool for division rather than unity.